guys, Mike Dawes here, back at Guitar World HQ in Manhattan on this muggy August day where my hair is beginning to look like Kenny G meets Weird Al Yankovic. In this column, we're going to be looking at guitar tapping on an acoustic guitar, and the exercise that I just played was an extract from a guest feature that I did for John Brown's Flux Conduct. That track is called Melancholia, and you can find that on YouTube, Melancholia, John Brown's Flux Conduct. Many of you will know John from his work with the UK tech metal band Monuments. Acoustic guitar tapping is obviously very different than electric guitar tapping because we often think vertically. And the extract that I just played there was all about the interplay between the left and right hand, both horizontally and vertically in terms of harmony. We're in dad-gad tuning, capoed on the 4th fret. And one of the great things about dad-gad tuning, as people that follow my stuff will know, is that you get a lot of easy octaves and fifths and harmonies on just a single fret. Stuff that you can't really achieve in standard tuning, okay? So we're gonna dive right in with this exercise and see how we get on. All right, let's take a look. For this little solo, we had this pattern of a bar of 5, followed by 2 bars of 4, followed by a bar of 3. And I'm capoed here on the 4th fret in dad-gad tuning, so D, A, D, G, A, D from low to high. With a capo on the 4th fret, it sounds something like this, okay? So that would be F sharp, that would be C sharp, another F sharp, a B, a C sharp, and then another F sharp on the top, okay? So just straight dad-gad capo 4. Now, you noticed in that exercise when I started doing it, I was able to harmonize on the same fret, okay? Now, this is one of the reasons I love using dad-gad tuning, because we have a lot of notes that are octaves or fifths on the same fret. We have all these interesting harmonic possibilities, okay? And it makes harmonizing your tapping very, very easy. So the first thing I would say to someone interested in playing like this is adjust the tuning away from standard tuning. You'll find it a lot easier to create interesting harmonies, okay? So I'll take you through this exercise. First, we're going to start with the bar of 5, okay? So that's the F sharp minor chord, and that's basically a D minor root position, but again, we're capoed, okay? So we're going to start like this. We're going to slap the bottom string, followed by hammering on fret 3. I'm going to talk in capo terminology here, okay? And fret 2 like that, okay? So that's the D string, followed by the top string there as well, okay? Now, when doing little machine gun type tapping patterns like this, it's important to be aware of your dynamics. And one of the reasons I'm taking you through these 2 specific exercises today is because the exchange between both hands is pretty consistent, and it's a good exercise in dynamics, you know, sharing hammer-ons with tapped notes and trying to keep it very consistent, digga, 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 like that, okay? But it's a little bit tricky to get your hands around, so let's dive right in. After this, we're going to have our first tap notes. Okay, so that's going to be the 5th fret on the D string, and then the 2nd string also on the 5th fret, okay? You'll notice when I'm tapping, I'm resting my thumb on the top of the fretboard like this. Now that's very, very important for tapping for stability and also for power. Now I see a lot of players playing sometimes without a thumb, or without any kind of anchor, and if you're going to dive in and hit a note like this, you might just miss, or you might lose that rhythmic consistency and also the accuracy as well, all right? So, that's our first little pattern. Da, 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 dum. Okay? Then we're going to start pulling off. So not only are we hammering on, we're pulling off as well. We're not just tapping, we're doing pull-offs in the tapping hand, okay? So after that, we flick off the 2nd finger to open, and then we flick off the 1st finger to reveal the note that we already hammered on, okay? Then we're going to continue the pull-off trend and pull these off as well, okay? Open D string, open top string. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a good exercise in itself for 3 beats. Okay, then we're going to play something a little bit tricky, this little line here. A little bit of Silent Hill for the fans of the Silent Hill video game franchise. A little kind of extract from that I wanted to throw into this to make it sound pretty dark. This little scale run there, okay. We're going to hammer 2, hammer 3, tap 5, all on the same string, okay. Now, when you're harmonizing and doing solo acoustic tapping, it's nice to have harmony there at all times to fatten up the sound. It's very rare that I'll do a single note run like that, The reason I did this in the composition was because I had other strings already ringing to harmonize with. There's still stuff going on. And in your own composition, I'd really advise following a similar path, okay, to try and really fatten up the sound, especially when you're capoed high and you don't have a lot of that bass to play with. Then we're going to hammer and pull off fret 2 with the first finger. Then it's a pull off that tap note, it's a slide down, okay. That would be the 4 beats, okay, if we were in 4/4. But we're not, we're doing a bar of 5 because John Brown likes to write in cool time signatures. Hey John, I hope you're doing well. So the last beat of that bar, we're gonna play the open D5 shape. In this case, it's an F sharp 5 chord. And we're gonna do a nice little strum followed by hammer on, pull off, hammer on, like this, okay? The full sequence of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? I'll play it one more time slowly. I'll play it another time even slower. Okay, again, it's all about consistency between the two hands in terms of rhythm and dynamics, okay? Then we're gonna move to this shape, okay? After this sequence, you have to shift your fingers a little bit, but keep the third finger where it is. This nice little sequence here, a nice big strum on those 5 strings to get that E. Pull off hammer on, tap, again like that. So it's a nice little playful sort of banter between the third finger of this hand and your second finger tapping that top string, okay? The important thing here is that when this hammers back on for the last time, you're harmonizing that power chord, okay? And another thing with acoustic tapping is you always have to be aware of your fingers running into each other. Be aware that you've got to let all the notes ring for as long as possible, okay? Now the hard part, okay? A little sequence just in the fretting hand, okay? We're going to be pulling off and hammering on, then pulling off, then hammering on here before we slide up to this chord here, okay? And that was a bar of 4, so we have as the full sequence of 4, okay? Now we're going to do some interesting stuff with harmonics. Now those of you that have seen my previous columns will have seen me talking about open, right-handed natural harmonics. Like this, okay? So if you are unsure about how to really dive into this technique, I'd suggest checking out some of the earlier columns on YouTube. What I'm essentially doing is touching a point, 12 frets higher in this case, we're capoed 4, so 4 plus 12 is 16, I'm on the 16th fret. I'm touching a harmonic, and I'm picking it with my second fingernail, okay? This is why I have fingernails, it's not because I'm a goblin. So, where are we? That's our sequence. Another bar of 4 to begin with. We're strumming the 5th fret, then this is muted. Open, 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 okay? Followed by these right-handed naturals on the G string and the second string, okay? Again, hammer on, pull off. Okay, so I was playing with different strings there and also doing a slap harmonic, which in this case is my first finger slapping the 16th fret to create an almost sort of crash cymbal sound. And that's kind of twinned with the attack of that hammer-on to create a nice accent, okay? So I'll go from the top so far, and see what we have. Okay, now the last bar, like I mentioned, is a bar of 3. We're going to do this nice, sexy upstroke, which is the first finger flattened over the bottom 3 strings with the top 3 strings open. Okay, a nice sort of D vibe. Okay. much more simple now. We're just picking straight strings. Remember, that's a bar of 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's it, okay? I'll play the whole exercise again twice so you can get the context. Here we go. So nice and consistent, and the fact that it is capoed on the 4th fret does help with that slap. You don't have as far to travel as you would in other exercises. So that's the Melancholia exercise from my track for John Brown's Flux Conductor. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that exercise, guys, and I hope you're going to work on the interplay between the two hands. We're going to dive right into another column now, looking at another exercise from an old song of mine called Boogie Shred, where the hands are going to start crossing over and things are going to get very fast and very stupid. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do with that, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.